Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. So, I'm sure some people have ran into this. There's kind of a running joke in the Transformers collecting community where you hate a figure so much that you only bought it 3 times or something like that. Just mostly making fun of how prevalent the repaints and stuff are. Today, we're going to go ahead and really look at that case for me. Here's the funny part, though. I've never specifically bought this figure. So, anyone who doesn't recognize it immediately and start groaning at the sight, this is the movie Legends Starscream. I am starting with the very first release of it because we're looking at 5 versions of this thing. I'm missing 2 of them. One of them is from a Toys R Us exclusive 4-pack. It's got a whole bunch of clear plastic in it. I don't trust it. I also don't fully trust this one, but as I understand, this is not the crumbly gold plastic. This is just gold plastic. We'll see. But yeah, I've never sought out to get this guy because I've either A, gotten him in bundles of figures, or for the last ones that I've received, they were gifts from friends because we were making the meme happen. But yeah, so here we have the Legends Movie 1 Starscream mold. It is an absolute mess. You've got a big hole in the back of the jet. You've got just the hands hanging out here. As far as I can tell, this is the official transformation for the hands as well. You can kind of finagle them to like go up over the face if you're careful. Just kind of cross his arms there. It doesn't work perfectly just because of how everything is shaped, but nothing on this figure really works if you stop and think about it too much. So there's that. Transformation on this guy is intensely simple, as you would expect from a early movie Legends. Start by folding the cockpit all the way up and around. That's why they have the hole in the jet. He does not have a false cockpit. He just has a completely undersized and recessed cockpit instead. So much better. Go ahead and unpeg the legs from each other, and then just turn them around. Unpeg the arms from the shoulders up there, and take these fins and fold them down. And there you've got your movie 1 Starscream in his robot mode. This is easily the worst looking figure of, well, not the worst, but it's the worst mainline figure of this design that I've ever seen. And I've got the Voyager from movie 1. That one's also not good, but this is worse. So, as you can see, we've got the head sculpt's relatively accurate. The paint kind of makes the details vanish a little bit. His entire body is at kind of this weird lean because of the way he's made. Posability is mostly in the arms. You've got ball joints there, so he can hug himself and tell himself it'll all be okay. Arms don't really move out. His forever flat hands. Yeah, there were choices made here. They were not good choices. And yet the legs are almost completely static. You can wiggle them around a little bit, but not much. He's also usually not very willing to stand, just because of the weird angles in his whole body. And like I said, this is my absolute least favorite mainline Starscream figure of all time, from movie or non-movie. And so of course I've got 5 of them. This was the original release of the figure. Next we're going to go ahead and look at I believe this was the Stealth Force version of the figure. I can't remember if this was like a multi-pack or something. It doesn't really matter. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to say to go buy any of these, so I'm not really going to bother with the specifics. This is the next one they released. It is like partially black, but then has all the same like weird gray pieces in the back and the same bad transformation and everything else. And oh, I did forget, he's got one other bit of articulation. He's got a hip wiggle. Ooh, yeah, that makes the figure all that much better. Why does he have the hip wiggle? The hip wiggle makes no sense. But yeah, he even basically has the same paint apps as this one. In fact, I think he does have the exact same paint apps. They just switched the gold for black. That is the entire difference right there. Tired of trying to stand these things already. Put them down. Then we've got the Revenge of the Fallen version, where they gave him the tattoos. I will give them a lot of props, actually. One of the things I've noticed in my Starscream collecting, it is very impressive how accurate they kept these tattoo details to all the different versions of the tattooed Starscreams. Like, they're not always one-to-one, but like the big, main details you see carry over pretty consistently. That's actually very impressive. But go ahead. This one, I don't know. I like the way the black is there in the shoulder joints. I definitely think this one looks like it looks better, but it still isn't good. And you've got this version. This one came with a I want to say it was the Universe Legends. It was I think it was just the Universe Legends mold painted as Smokescreen. I do have that guy. I'll look at him sometime and give him some proper love. This one gets no love. But I will say I like that they're using a metallic light blue. Like, the paint ideas on these are kind of cool. I just wish that this would have been the Cyberverse Commander mold instead of these. At least this one being all black, it does kind of hide the big hole in the jet mode. This is the one I'm the closest to wanting to like. But then I remember that it's this thing. Like, this is the angry flying Dorito. He is literally just flat from the side. It is ridiculous. And then this is the last one that I have. This was the Dark of the Moon release. One of the two there. The other one that I'm lacking is also Dark of the Moon. Well, I say other one. There's one more on top of that, but it was a Japan only, like, bright green thing. I have never seen it for sale. I'm not willing to really look. But yeah, it's this thing yet again. And funny enough, even though this is the like last of them, this was actually the very first one that I got. I got this guy all the way back in college when I was barely collecting Transformers. I bought a bag of just random small Transformers, and this idiot was in there. And here's the funny part. I wasn't even really collecting Starscreams back then, so I'm not fully sure why I held on to him. I did get rid of plenty of figures that came in those random bags back then. But this idiot I kept. And apparently they multiply if you let them stay. So go ahead and enjoy my little seeker crew of shame here. Of course, stand, you idiot. There we go. I don't know if I should thank you guys for watching at this point or apologize for having subjected some of you to this. Uh, but either way, I will see you next time.